Minister, farmers are here en masse and want answers to these questions they gave my office. The major storage dams of the lower Murray-Darling Basin are currently holding about 7,500 gigalitres of water. That's 7.5 trillion litres. Yet farmers along the basin in New South Wales and Victoria are receiving zero allocation for general security water. I'll say it again. These farmers can visit their water in those dams. They can watch water flow past their properties on the way to irrigate forests. They just can't have any. Minister, will you release 1,000 gigalitres, just 13% of the water in storage, to the states for general security water so our farmers can grow food and fibre for Australia and the world?
The Minister for Agriculture, Senator Mackenzie.
I might answer this. Thank you, Senator, in my capacity as representing the Minister for Water, Minister Littleproud. The 2 million Australians that live and work throughout the Murray-Darling Basin system are actually providing food and fibre not just for our entire country but for the world. It is a hub of clean, green, safe, sustainable food production, and it is also a place in my home state of Shepparton, through the Goulburn Valley, and I know in other areas through particularly New South Wales, the hub of food manufacturing. And so there are tens of thousands of Australians on farm and off farm in these communities who rely on water to be able to ensure that they can continue to do what they've been doing for decades and in many cases generations. We know these communities are under pressure. And I was one of the first people in this place coming back from the election to be talking about the heartache of when you are a farmer in drought and seeing water flow right past your front gate to water an environmental asset far, far away. It is heartbreaking. And I think these farmers have had to come to Parliament, and that is why we have actually been making changes since we came to Parliament.
On a point of order. I've got Senator Hanson on a point of order. Senator Mackenzie.
Point of order. There's just over 30 seconds left of the question. She is not answering the question. Will they release 1,000 gigalitres of water to the farming sector? She has not even touched on that part of the question whatsoever. Can I
go to the point of direct relevance and I again ask senators not to simply restate a preferred part of a question, but to bring the point of order to that of direct relevance. Now, can I remind the Senate of what direct relevance means in contrast to what relevance used to mean? It used to mean, to quote a ruling of President Baker, that for example, if a question concerned the state of the economy, the minister's answer is relevant if it referred to the state of the economy. President Bean said relevance means relevance to the subject matter of the question. The Senate changed the standing orders to require answers to be directly relevant. Now, in my view, to be directly relevant means that an answer must directly refer to or address, including challenging, material or assertions contained in a question or any preamble, i.e. it is a narrower test than simply dealing with the same subject matter. It shouldn't deal with the motives of people asking questions unless those motives are assigned in the question itself, and therefore it would be in order for a minister to challenge those. I just want to remind senators of that because direct relevance is a narrower test than relevance, which was the old subject matter. So, Minister, Senator Hanson highlighted part of her question. I can't direct you how to answer a question as long as you are directly relevant to part of the question, and it was a lengthy question in this case with a preamble, Senator Hanson. So I'll listen carefully to the minister and ask her to continue.
Well, I took the question to be meaning we need more water in basin communities who are suffering from drought and from near zero allocations in some states and very low allocations in others. And in these conditions, what water there is for the environment is being used cautiously to minimise irreversible damage. At the beginning of August, the Commonwealth Environmental Water Holder commenced the delivery of the Southern Spring Flow, targeting environmental outcomes. And I think it's useful to note that under the Water Act, it does not allow water set aside for the environment to be given to a farmers either as a loan or as a gift.
Senator Roberts, a supplementary question.
Thank you. Minister, if this water is just too important to give farmers for food and fibre for Australians and the world, can you tell this place what that water is reserved for? If farmers are not going to get it, who is going to get that 7.5 thousand gigalitres, that's 7.5 trillion litres?
Senator Mackenzie.
Well, this is one of the tragedies of this situation, that without more water in the Murray-Darling Basin system, from the skies to Senator Louise's Pratt's point, then it is very hard to create new water in the system. We are building water infrastructure. We're the side of politics that actually put a halt to buybacks, that sought to get any more efficiencies out of this system through investing in on-farm infrastructure. If the other team had have been elected, they'd be getting their chequebook right now and walking on farms taking water. We refuse to do that. It was we who capped it, we who've actually put the socio-economic criteria so that you cannot remove one more gigalitre from these communities, because we know, because we live in these communities, the reprehensible damage removing one more gigalitre from the Murray-Darling Basin communities will actually have, not just on farmers' productive capacity, but indeed on their own local communities to sustain.
Senator McKenzie. Senator Roberts, a final supplementary question.
Minister, as Agriculture Minister who fails to help her agriculture, whether on her own account or due to her party, is by any definition a failure. Will you resign?
Senator McKenzie. Order. Order in the galleries. Order in the galleries. Please remove that gentleman. Attendance. That's utterly inappropriate behaviour. I will not tolerate interjections from the galleries. It's impolite to other citizens who are also here. Senator McKenzie.
Well, thank you very much. No, Senator Roberts, I won't be resigning. It is actually our side of government that agriculture and mining communities right throughout regional Australia backs to deliver for them. Your party seeks to stop free trade agreements, which have led to—
Sorry, Senator McKenzie. Is someone going to own up there, have the courage to own up? Are you going to have the courage to own up, or are you going to hide behind— All right, please, can we please remove the gentleman? This is not inappropriate. It's utterly inappropriate. It is completely disrespectful to your fellow citizens to behave that way. Senator McKenzie, please continue.
Well, thank you very much, Mr President. It is our side of politics, and myself included, that backs accessing more markets so that our farmers, who do export 70% of what they grow, when 1 in 5 Australians owes their job to our status as a trading nation, to back free trade rather than want to close us off to markets of the world. We are the side of politics that's put $22 million on the table at the election to support Australian dairy farmers, not just through a mandatory code of conduct to ensure that the 8 very unique and challenged dairy industry regions in this country can come together and support a mandatory code of conduct to stop the egregious behaviour of milk processors against farmers.
Order, Senator McKenzie. Senator Davey.